Just warms my soul. Hi everyone, my name's Amy, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be going through all of the books that I bought in the Amazon Stuff Your Kindle Day. So I didn't actually know that Stuff Your Kindle Day existed until this year, like a week before. A whole bunch of different Kindle books end up going for $0 and you're able to download them on Kindle, on Google, Apple, whatever platform you read your ebooks on. So obviously, being on a book buying ban, I stuffed my Kindle. So every year a blog called Romance Bookworms actually releases the list of all of the books that are going to be available for the Stuff Your Kindle Day. Normally they don't release the list until the day of, but this time it was released early, so I had a quick squeeze like a day or two beforehand. Started making like a little wish list on my Amazon of books that I wanted to download for the Stuff Your Kindle Day. How many times am I going to say that in this video? So I've never actually heard of any of the books that are on the Romance Bookworms list that were available for the Stuff Your Kindle Day. So all of these books are completely new to me and I'm very, very excited to get into them. So what I did was, as I was going through the list and I found like a book title or a description of a book that I really thought sounded good, I looked it up on Amazon and then looked it up on Goodreads and then kind of went off what the average rating on both of those websites was. So if it was like a 3 or higher, then I ended up deciding to download it. So that was kind of the process and my process of elimination essentially. So I didn't have too many books to stuff my Kindle with, so it's still like a good amount, but it's not too many. So I ended up downloading 15 books. There's a mix of different genres in there as well. It's not just all fantasy or like romance or something. So on the Romance Bookworms blog, they actually sort the list by genre as well, which was very helpful. Now that we've gotten into all the nitty gritty, let's get into the Kindle books that I got for Stuff Your Kindle Day 2023. So first up we have Golden Curse by M. Lynn. Apparently it's a fantasy romance, so how could I say no? At 10 years old, Personette fled the palace of Gaul for her life. Now at 18, she must find a way to return in order to obey a curse on her family line. The prince won't know who she is, not anymore, but she knows him and what he will do if he discovers her true name. Made to fight for her life to earn her place, she vows to find a way to break the curse no matter the cost. To the death. The words describing the upcoming tournament turn the prince's blood to ice. The last warrior standing will win a spot at his side. As he's thrust onto the throne, forbidden magic, dangerous betrayals, and a complicated love could tear his reign apart. When the secrets begin to unravel, will Alex stay true to the laws and traditions of Gaul, or will he give it all up for a woman who deceived him? Doesn't that sound incredible? So next up we have Sword and Mirror by Kate Grove. So this is book 1 in the Yokai Treasures series. There are, doesn't want to tell me, 4 books. There's 4 books in this series. A victim of mistaken identity, Kiara finds herself dragged back in time and thrown into the clutches of a manacle? Girl, I need to look that up. Maniacal. That sounds so fake. A victim of mistaken identity, Kiara finds herself dragged back in time and thrown into the clutches of a maniacal samurai. Slay. Risking her life, Kiara manages to escape with a little girl the samurai kidnapped to provoke his rival. While doing so earns her the gratitude of Katsuo, the enemy warlord. An alliance with him comes at a price. Kiara must pretend to be in a relationship with him. Feigning betrothal to a seasoned warlord seems the best way to ensure her safety as she looks for a way home. But the handsome stranger has a dark secret that could land them both in danger. As genuine affection begins to develop between the pair, Katsuo is riddled with doubts. Will his feelings for Kiara interfere with his promise to help her get home? Or will his family's hidden truth out her life in peril? 16th century Japan? Please. Yes, thank you. Next up we have book 1 in the Keeper of the Dragon series, which is The Prince Returns. So the Keeper of the Dragon series is 6 books long. It was written by J.A. Culligan. And it's essentially about this guy called Cole who turns 18 and then finds out that his family is not actually his real family. His family are dragons. And he is a dragon. Cole's life is upended on his 18th birthday when he discovers his true dragon heritage and the prophecy that awaits him. His life spirals into an uncontrollable battle of life or death. He learns that his family isn't really his own, and his birth parents are the king and queen of all dragons, making Cole royalty. With that legacy comes a special calling, devoting an eternity to protecting all true beings from creatures bent on controlling the earth and bringing an end to all that is good. As the newly minted Prince of Orcana and the Keeper of Dragons, Cole's first task is to keep the nefarious Pharaoh-fallen fairies at bay. We love the alliteration. If Cole can't figure out how to reach outside his humanity and embrace his destiny, then all dragons will die. It's about dragons, and I'm currently reading Fourth Wing, so the next book is actually a YA dystopian. It's called Numbers Game, and it's written by Rebecca Road. It is book 1 out of 6 in the Numbers Game saga. In Nora, every day is a competition. On rating day, Trina and the rest of her class will receive the numbers that brands her for life. Shouldn't be a problem since she's a top contender with nearly perfect scores. It's giving Divergent. But when her number is announced, it shocks everyone. Then she discovers somebody wants her dead and they're being far from subtle about it. When Trina joins a secret military contingent to raise her score quickly, she soon discovers that Nora isn't what she thought. And neither is Vance, her mysterious trainer with a haunted past and plans of his own. It's literally giving Triss and 4. Can two enemies help one another in a desperate search for the truth? And if they manage to survive the deadly games of numbers, whose version of the future will win in the end? So next up we have another historical romance fantasy book. And that book is Katana of Trust by A.C. Ward. So this is book 1 out of 6 from the Kamai Prophecy series. Determined to prove herself to the gods, Xiao will do anything to forget the journey that brought her to the island of the Kamai. Now is her time to rise up and take her place as the chosen one of the prophecy. But when enemies try to destroy Xiao, another human saves her. She's shocked that he bears the same mark as she. Suddenly, Xiao questions everything about her history. Teaming up with Masaru, heir to the Date clan, is her only option to uncover the truth and save herself from death. As Masaru and Xiao grow closer, one thing is certain. They've been wrong about the prophecy all along. Horribly wrong. Will Xiao fight for her place among the Kamai or forge a path of her own? I think the cover for this is absolutely stunning. I think it's so pretty, and I love the purple and black and red. It's just... Okay, switching up genres for a little bit. I have Just One Summer by Lynn Stevens. So this is book 1 out of a 3-book series called Just One. Carly Reynolds does not want to work at her father's theatre over the summer, but she has no choice. After wrecking his prized Mercedes on prom night, she's got to pay him back somehow before she leaves for college. Now she's stuck working as the personal assistant of 20-year-old Grayson Ford, former member of one-hit wonder boy band Accentuate. Grayson is demanding, condescending, and an all-round jerk. Carly would rather eat glass than deal with a male diva who's more famous for his stint in rehab than his music, until she realises that Grayson's lonely. The poor boy. Once she welcomes him into her life, she starts to let him into her heart, even though she knows it will end when she leaves the school. Carly doesn't want to look back on her life and wonder what if, even if it means a broken heart. I'm way more of a fantasy reader than I am a romance reader, but I do love a good romance book, so... This one is called Summer's Kiss and is book 1 out of 2 from the Boys of Ocean Beach series. This book was written by Angel Lawson. 3 months. That's how much time I have to change everything in my life. And I'll do it from a seaside campground living in a tiny Airstream trailer with my mother who has no idea what I've done. My goal is to keep the disastrous secrets of my senior year behind me. Why? Because she'd kill me if she found out what I did with my teacher. The little island of Ocean Beach is the perfect place for the reset. When I meet a few of the locals or townies, I get hooked on the beach bum life. It doesn't hurt that there are 4 sexy surfers ready to show me what it's like to live in Ocean Beach, and soon I fall for the town, the way of life, and the boys. They do their best to help me forget my past, but what happens when my past comes looking for me? It sounds quite entertaining and quite good. Who are the boys? I want to meet the boys! This kind of sounds like a mix between New Girl and The Summer I Turned Pretty. So I'm really here for it because New Girl's my favourite show, and The Summer I Turned Pretty is just fantastic. Okay, next up we have another fantasy, and that is Twin Shadow by Candice Bundy. So this is book 1 in the Shadow series, which there are 3 of. Born of the Fae but ungifted, I've always felt like I don't belong. As a member of House Rowan, I've faced prejudice and discrimination from both humans and Fae alike. With no magic to my name, I've had to forge my own path, striving to prove my worth and make a name for myself. When my twin sister, the favoured heir to our house, is brutally murdered, I'm plunged into a dangerous game of politics and intrigue. To uncover the truth, I must team up with Quinn, a Fae enforcer with his own agenda. Together we unravel a web of secrets and lies that lead us down a perilous path, where the line between friend and foe becomes increasingly blurred. But we delve deeper into the mystery and I can't help but be drawn to Quinn. His charming smile, mysterious aura, and uncanny ability to stay one step ahead of me. Can I trust him to help me find the killer, or is he leading me down a dangerous path? Next up we have Daughter of Shadow by LJ Swallow. So again, I really love this cover. It's just giving like all of the popular fantasy books at the moment, and we love that. So this is book 104 in the Daughter of Shadow series, funnily enough. Again, this book is about dragons, which I'm very excited about. I'm heavily in my dragon era at the moment, as I'm sure a lot of people are. The dragons are dead, the Ebon Queen has destroyed the elven realms, and the courts are at war. The Queen's dark magic flows in strength, and the kingdom is losing the battle against her. 3 men are sent from the Silvercrest Court stronghold to seek others to aid their cause. Their task? Recruit the most potent magic users from the Shire towns and train them to join the crusade against the Ebon Queen. But they never expect to find a Daughter of Shadow. Kalana's time working at the apothecary ends abruptly. On the day the town tests her magic skills, Kalana's shadowmancy is revealed. A shocked Kalana faces a death sentence, but a mysterious man smuggles her from town. With no other choice, Kala must journey to the stronghold with the 3 strange men. As they fight their way through enemy territory, the men discover that Kala's power is more dangerous than they realized, and so is the bond this creates between them all. Meanwhile, the Ebon Queen continues to ravage the human and elven lands as her shadow and decay move through the kingdom, and she's looking for Kala. How good does that sound? Oh my god. I think out of all of them, I'm probably most excited to read this one. So the next book that I got on Stuff Your Kindle Day is Hidden Wings by Camilla Renee. 17 is a life-changing age for Emma Wise. As her family's sole survivor in a car crash, she is left with a broken arm and a few scrapes and bruises. But these are only outward marks. Inside, her heart is broken and the pieces scattered. Whisked away to Alaska to her aunt she's never met, Emma starts over. Secrets unveil themselves, and now she doesn't even know who or what she is. A centuries-old prophecy places Emma in the heart of danger. Creatures of horrifying and evil proportions are after her, and it will take Emma, her aunt, and six gorgeously captivating guardians to keep her safe. But if she can't survive until her 18th birthday, things will change. I just want to meet the 6 captivating guardians, like, hello sir. The cover is kind of giving like 2010, 2012 vibes, but I'm not mad about it. It sounds fantastic, and again, I'm really excited to get into this one. Next up we have Kingdom of Embers by Trisha Copeland. Like most of these books, this is the first book in a series. 17-year-old Elena Scott is tired of pretending to be something she's not. As an outlawed vampire witch hybrid, she's forced to abide by the oppressive secrecy imposed by her vampire chancellor mother. But she'll have to ignore the rules when she comes face to face with a handsome, full-grown version of her childhood imaginary friend. Shocked that he recognises her as his own pretend play pal, the two embark on a quest to solve the mystery of their fraternised companionship. And as they unravel their entwined destinies, Elena realises she holds the key to a curse which could free them all, or condemn which kind into eternal suffering. Can Elena and her impossibly familiar partner reverse an ancient spell before they're sent to a mortal grave? I'm really excited for this book. Again, I think the cover is really, really pretty. I'm really excited to get into it. There's a plane. We love Sydney. So this next book is actually 3 books in one. So it's a bind up of the series, I guess. And that is the Abby George series by Anne Kemp. So this bind up includes Rum Punch Regrets, Gotta Go to Come Back, Sugar City Secrets. I'm assuming you have to read these in order, but I'm not too sure, but because I have the bind up, I'm just gonna read them in order. So next up we actually have a romantic comedy, and that is It Was You by Jo Platt. Alice Waits has been happily single for almost 2 years. When her close friends in the short book group gently question her current distinct lack of interest in men, she accepts that maybe it's time to deal with the past and open herself up to new possibilities. Oh yes, the time has come to go dating again. However, things soon unravel for Alice as she uncovers the secret heartache and hopes for those around her. And her most surprising discovery is the life-changing truth which she has kept hidden even from herself. This book actually sounds really, really good, and I'm very intrigued to get into it, and it's obviously quite different from all the other books that I've downloaded. I'm excited to find out what her secret is that she's hiding from herself as well as others, and it'll be really exciting actually. I'm very keen to read this. Okay, second to last book we have Love on Paper by Sarah Madeline. To you, love is nothing but fiction. Are these harsh words from her ex-fiancé true? Maren Beckett can't help but wonder. Sure, she can dash off a romance novel in weeks, but it takes her time to fall in love. She'd still said yes to him with all her heart, and okay, she had watched her parents' storybook marriage end in an ugly split. That didn't wreck her ability to commit. Did it? To clear her head and confront her past, Maren returns to the setting of her parents' famous love story, a tiny blue cottage on the English coast. Surrounded by sea winds, bittersweet memories, and a surprise romance with an intriguing British actor, Maren must decide, does she trust love to survive outside of books, and can she accept it for herself? The setting being the English coast just sounds phenomenal. Like, I'm so ready for it. If you're new here, fantasy is my favourite genre. So how could we not end this haul without a fantasy book? So next up we have Sun Serpent by Geneva Monroe. This is book 1 of 2 of the Sun Serpent saga. Under the silks of her circus troupe's tent, Elira Solaris dances with fire. She disguises her gift as showmanship, but longs for answers about why she has a power no one else possesses. Somewhere in the city of never-ending night, Prince Cal is looking for the girl who burns the brightest. Only she can stop the horror inflicted on his kingdom by a sadistic lord who controls the minds of his victims. When Cal spies Illyria, he knows without a doubt that she is the most beautifully dangerous thing he has ever seen. More importantly, she's the fire dragon he's been waiting his whole life to find. Moments after Cal enters Illyria's life, a loved one's gruesome death sets her on the path of vengeance. Cal will do anything to protect his people, including lying to Illyria about who he really is and promising her the answers she seeks. I'm obsessed with the cover. I think it looks so good. And it sounds incredible. But that is all 15 books that I got in the Stuff Your Kindle Day. I will link all of them down below so you guys can easily find them if you would like to jump on the bandwagon and read them. I'm very keen to get into all of these books and I cannot wait to read them all. Stuff Your Kindle Day is such a good way to get yourself introduced to new authors and find new things and new writing and tropes and genres that you really like. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please don't forget to subscribe, check out my Goodreads and my Instagram, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!